Hello, hello, good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's Perspective for Wednesday, October 16th. Okay, I was thinking about something and I figured I'd bring you in. Hey, Scoop, figured I'd bring you in to see if you want to join me in doing it. Message in a bottle. You know, if we've got a few experiences behind us, some life experiences, then this is who this applies to. Have you thought about your younger self, yourself at age 13, when you first hit the magical teen years? I don't know how magical, but when you first hit the teen years, you're an official teen, and all that may have been going on in your life that many years ago. 13, you can bump it up to 21, a significant number. Age 30, another significant milestone. But the question that I was asking myself today is, what would I tell my younger self? What message would I send to that very, very skinny little girl with glasses on? This was me, but they were bigger. This is me, but they were bigger at the time. You know, and I was just thinking back. I chose my 13-year-old self. I can choose my 21-year-old self. I can absolutely choose my 30-year-old self, because those were key milestones to me. And I was a obviously, like I'm hoping you are, and can say boldly, you were a very different person. You know, the value system, maybe the strong personality traits, they were all the same, because that's who you are, with some minor tweaks and some life experiences that shift some of your perspectives. But what would you tell that younger version of yourself? Was that younger version walking around scared all the time? Was that younger version of yourself lacking in confidence? Were you lacking in strength? Were you lacking direction? Were you full of direction? Maybe too much direction. Maybe you had too much going on with no foundation, no substance. What would you say to your younger version of yourself to let them know that, number one, they're really going to make it? They will actually. I remember doing this. Was like maybe 12, 11, 12. So like sixth, seventh grade, we had, because it just seemed so outrageously far away. I remember having to, uh, we were doing a project that said, okay, calculate how old you'll be in the year 2000. And that just seemed like, oh my goodness, we're going to be walking around. It just seemed so far away. And now the year 2000 is almost 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago. And so, I mean, really, if we blink, years fly by. If you take a nap on your life, decades will be gone. You'll wake up, the children will be gone, you got some grandkids. Life is just moving. And so it just made me wonder and ponder, what would I tell my younger self? Message in a bottle. What would you do to encourage them? What would you do to strengthen them, to make them realize, to make your younger self know that you will get through this? You got some rough patches coming out. What would you warn them about? What would you be like? Warning, 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 warning. You're going to have a major disaster come up, it's going to hit you from all sides, but hold out, just keep breathing. You're going to get. What would you tell your younger self to prepare them for the person you are today? What warnings would you give them? Would you tell them to take this more seriously, please? I know it doesn't seem like it's going to lead anywhere, but take this more seriously. This person that you're going to meet, you know, treat them better. Don't wait so long to tell them that you love them, because you don't know. What would you tell a younger version of yourself? Thank you, Ira Kelly. But you didn't know me when you was 13. Okay. So my question, my challenge is, even if you don't write a message literally write a message to the younger version of yourself. Again, I chose the age 13, but what pivotal age in your life, that's the person you choose, and transport yourself back to who you were, to how you thought, to how you walked your way through problems, to how you figured things out, to how you strategized, even if you weren't using the word strategize. How did you figure things out? How did you make your decisions? How were your choices made? Once you made the decision, did you stand fast regardless of if it was wrong or not? Or did you pivot so often, too often, that it didn't appear that you were concrete in anything? Where was your faith back then? Would you prepare your faith to be stronger? Would you prepare then to think differently about money? Those things that we learned growing up are deeply embedded. And sometimes as we get older, we see some things that just we got to unlearn them. Would you start telling your younger version to unlearn some things now? Don't put 100% of yourself right here, because it's going. What would you tell the younger version of yourself? So the challenge is to either physically write it out, which I promise you, writing causes thinking, and a whole lot of things will start coming up. A whole lot of things. Now, we can't transport ourselves back to, our pivotal age, 13, 21, 30 years old, what was happening at 40 in your life. We can't transport ourselves there. But if we've got grandchildren, nieces, nephews, children still growing up, it might be wonderful to share that with them. So that's, and I'm a writer. I'm not a writer. I will write mine out, because I want to share it with our girls. They think a certain way because we're their parent, and they've only known us as the parent. They don't see us, they don't know us as, footloose and fancy free, and as a teenager, and you were a cheerleader in high school, and you were this miss, and you were this okay, they don't see us like that. But to write a letter to the younger version of yourself and share it with someone. If you don't care to write, then just make some thinking time. Give yourself some thinking time in your calendar today to, what would you say? What warnings, what gifts, what proclamations, what encouragement, what guidance would you give to the younger version of yourself? Okay, that is my challenge, a fun challenge. Hopefully it's fun. Okay, but it doesn't just stop with you thinking about, because that can leave you, like sort of in a bad spot depending on what age you choose. But to share it with someone who knows you now and didn't know you then, to share it with a family member or a sibling, to share it with someone you're mentoring, to let them know, because we're not that different. Okay. So that is my offering for you today. Make it a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And I am hopeful that many of you will take me up on the challenge. Message in a bottle, or message in an email. Okay, but message in a bottle to a younger version of yourself. Until next time, take real good care of yourselves.